All right, it's your boy Donne Colioni, and we are back with another video. You already know what it is, man. The Don Dada is back, bro. So yeah, this is episode 2 of this like live podcast show I've been starting. I got the guest here, Jamar Root from Root of Everything.
Yes,
We
sir.
just gonna chop it up. So yeah, so I just tell everybody like who you are, like give us a synopsis. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Origin.
Origin story. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I guess you want me to go to my root of everything, but so my
yeah.
name is Jamar Root. I go to Temple University, senior Temple University, but more than anything, I'm the founder of Root of Everything, a podcast slash brand that inspires other people to find their passion. It rooted
Okay.
from me not knowing what to do with my life when people were saying, Jamar, what do you want to do when you grow up? I have no idea. I was always scared. Now I figured out it's not about where you want to go, it's finding a process you want to live into. You know what I'm saying? And so for the past, we actually had an anniversary about a week or two ago. And yeah, it's been an amazing ride. We almost have about 2,000 followers on Instagram and
Damn.
lots of almost we just had 1,000 podcast downloads. And more than anything, it's not about the numbers, but it's like I've been able to inspire some people to find their passion, but it's through me doing what I love to do. So if I had to describe myself, it is root of everything. It's who I am. My passion is who I am. And inspiring other people to find their passion and talking to passionate people is literally what I wake up in the morning for.
Damn, that's crazy, bro. It's literally in your name because your last name is Root.
Yeah. I was born for it, bro.
Yeah, this guy is
I was
born
born
for it, bro.
for it. Yeah. I
That's
was born
crazy.
for it.
And so, like, did you start this like during COVID, like lockdown, and then
Yeah. So root of everything, the timing of root of everything was crazy. So everybody, I kind of got like, yo, Jamar, you can start a podcast. I had gotten that a couple times, maybe at a get together. A couple people were like, you can kind of talk, you can start a podcast. But when COVID happened, so I had a lot of internships lined up at that time. I actually majored in sport and recreation management, and so I was heavy trying to get internships in the sports industry, and I had a lot of them lined up at the moment. And then obviously, like everybody else, COVID happened. But I had previously kind of been like, I could do a podcast, do something, and I didn't know what the name would be. I thought, is it gonna be the Jamar Root podcast? Is it gonna be the I don't know. One day I was just like root of everything. And it just stuck. But it happened during COVID. And so when COVID happened, that's when it was like, yo, I'm gonna fully try this. And one of the things I always tell people is I kind of got lucky because if it wasn't for COVID, I don't know if I would have fully tried it. And through me fully trying to help people find their passion, I found my passion in it. And so through COVID, man, it was literally every single day. I went back home with my parents. Every single day, I was writing a journal and I was writing another episode and another episode and another episode. And then it just turned into what it is now. But it came from the bottom. It came from I was scared to speak on camera. It came from I have no idea what I'm gonna talk about. And now it is what it is today.
damn, that's crazy. I feel that,
Yeah.
man. Like during COVID, I think COVID really is like it's low key like blessing in disguise. Like everybody got to try new things and discover passions. You know what I'm saying?
I I think it really opened our eyes that there isn't only one option in this world. I think a lot of times we get in these, society lockdowns in a sense, like society has their lock on our minds and it's like this is what you're supposed to do at this time of your life. Like for me right now, I'm about to graduate college. You can get stuck in this mind where I got to do this now because this is what society is. But we forget to follow our heart, follow what we love to do. And society was kind of messed up because when COVID happened, none of that stuff was an option anymore. And now we really had infinite options. And, we got to try out new things. And now a lot of us came out as different people. I'm not the same person no more. I'm root of Jamar, root of everything now, not just Jamar root.
Damn, that's crazy, bro. So wait, so you're
Yeah.
a fourth year, like, of,
Yeah, fourth year. I'm finishing out right now, man. It's a
damn,
blessing.
that's
A
crazy. I
blessing.
wish I'm still in my, I think my second year. I lost track after COVID, but I think
Just keep going, bro. Put your head down and get through it. I'm glad I'm at
get
the end.
through it.
Yeah.
Oh God, what's it called? Because I know you talk a lot about passion and finding your
hmm
passion, all that. So like, I was curious, what is your take on? So would you say passion? Are you talking purpose, or is you think purpose and passion
Mm,
two different things, or you
great
think,
question.
or
You
like,
you
yeah, what's
just
your take
asked
on
me
it?
my favorite question. You asked me
Oh,
my
word?
favorite question. Yeah, you asked me my favorite
Yeah.
question. I'm very passionate about this question. And so passion and purpose are two totally separate things. And I think there's a lot there needs to be education on this topic, and it's something I talk about heavily in my podcast. Purpose
Okay.
and passion are two separate things. Your purpose, your purpose is why you were here on this earth.
Okay.
And anybody listening, you, Don, you will never fully figure out what your purpose is. I know that sounds crazy. You'll never figure out what your purpose is because, like today, I'm on here. I could inspire somebody today, and then
Right.
that person then inspires somebody else. Inspires. I will never fully understand how far my purpose goes. I'll never
You'll
understand that.
never know.
So don't waste your time trying to understand what your full purpose is. I might know a little bit of it. I might know I'm on here to inspire some people in this way, but I'll never know the full extent of my purpose. Your passion, the one thing you can figure out and you need to figure out is your passion, because your passion then makes your purpose as great as it can be. You might not know what it is that your passion creates, but you know in your passion it creates your biggest purpose. And this is
Yeah.
why when you love the process of something, I believe a passion is a love for a process regardless of the results. And so right now, I love talking to passionate people. I love talking about passion. So right now, my purpose is at its max right now. I'm doing I'm talking as best as I can because I love what I'm doing. And so a passion is loving something regardless of the results. And so when you tap in and do something you love, you're going to be more motivated to wake up in the morning and do it. When you're doing it, you're going to be more focused. When you're doing it, people are going to interact with you more. Why? Not because the results are better, not because this, and that on the external. It's because genuinely in your heart, you love what you're doing. And that's what I think the world needs to get a grip on. It needs to get a grip on what do I love doing, regardless of what anybody else says, regardless of how many views I'm getting on YouTube, regardless of what my mom and dad say. What do I love doing? That's what we got to figure out. And we got to stop saying, what's my purpose? Because you'll never figure that out.
Damn. That's crazy you said that because the thing with purpose is just like, man, like I feel like that would the idea of just like, dang, I will never truly know what purpose is. It's just
You'll
it
never
makes you go
know.
crazy a little bit. It's like imagine like when you're gone, you'd be like, what the heck was my purpose?
And
Like
guess
what
what?
was
And
it?
guess what? Your
Mm.
purpose, like you don't even like I could like everything we do on a daily basis could have an effect for the rest of the world. Like, have you ever heard of like how like if you went back in the past and you stepped on a fly, then something wouldn't have you know what I'm saying? Everything could
Yeah.
have a chain reaction. So it's like, but what I tell people all the time is as human beings, it ain't for us. We don't have the mind capacity to even understand all that stuff. All we can do is just love. You know what I mean? All we can do is love others, love what we do, and then understand the best will come out of love. You know what I mean? And just have peace in it. Don't even try to think about it. Don't even try to think about, man, how many people will be affected. Don't even think about it, bro. It's not for you because you gotta realize when you do something you love, it's not really about the glory. You know what I'm saying? It's not really about how many people like your picture. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, look, I'm doing something I like doing. It's not about how many likes. I think people get confused with finding their purpose because their purpose sounds good. The purpose is gonna get the most likes. My purpose is to help people. Oh, people gonna think I'm a great person now. I'm not doing nothing I do so people can think of me a certain way. I'm doing it because I like doing it, and it's a level of peace in it, man. It's a level of peace.
That's crazy. That's deep, bro. Like that's like
Yeah,
I think damn, you just kind of just broke it down. Like I feel like
yeah.
low key, I'm one of those people like I kind of I don't know until like when I like before this podcast I like got into your content a little bit right now and I was watching
Mhm.
it. I'm saying because I was one of those people who used to I kind of focus a lot more on purpose rather than
Mm,
passion. But I think but after watching your content I was thinking maybe I should tap in like what's the passion behind it because I think the
mhm.
passion like is what's gonna actually keep doing that
Exactly.
purpose long term
And you
and
know
stuff
what's
like that.
crazy? And I don't tell anybody like it's not okay. I mean, it's okay, but I did it before. You know what I mean? I was always like, what problem can I solve in the world? And what I
Yeah.
tell people all the time is, you're never gonna be able to save the entire world. You're
Oh yeah.
never gonna be able to fix every world hunger, every single thing. All you can do is what you're meant to do. And that's through whatever you love doing. And through that, there will be a chain reaction that will work to the greater good. And you're gonna have to trust that. But if you try to fix problems and you try to do things based off these results, you're not even going to have the passion to even get to those results. So, say I'm like, I want to cure world hunger, but I don't love the process of curing world hunger, I'm never going to get to that goal. But say if I find a goal through a process I like, I'm going to go through that result 10 times over. You see what I mean? Because I love the process of it. So it's like, yes, you want to have a great purpose, but guess what? Your purpose is greater when you don't even think about it. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, no one's talking about that. I think this is a
Nobody
conversation
is.
that it just needs to be had. Like, because like yeah, a lot of people like some people don't even like. It's crazy. There's people that like they'll focus like on purpose, right, straight off rip,
Hmm.
and there's people that will just focus on like they don't even focus on passion or purpose. They kind of just go through
They
life
just
and
living.
they're just living. And then
Hmm.
sometimes I guess we think I'm just like, bro, like, do you even got a purpose, bro? Like, do you
Yeah.
even like?
A
I
reason.
don't know. It,
Yeah.
it boggles my mind,
Yeah.
Like it's just surreal to me.
I feel it.
Yeah. So called another question I have for you is so yeah, why do you think people struggle to find their passion or purpose? Like
That's a great question. I think people struggle. There's a lot of reasons. I think a lot of people struggle, one, because they're told you got to do things a certain way. We go to school and we're being trained to fulfill a space in the line. We're being told to fulfill this spot that they need society to fill. You know what I mean? They're not thinking about, you know what I'm saying? When you're in these general spaces, they're not thinking about your personal interests. They're thinking about the society's personal interests.
right.
I disagree to an extent. I believe if everybody does what they love, then everything will fall in place. That's what I think. Maybe blind, maybe innocent. That's what I think. Um, and then I also think a lot of people just don't believe in themselves. People don't believe in themselves, and they don't see the possibilities in doing something that you're passionate about. So when I tell somebody do what you love to do, they're like, "Well, Jamar, I can't make money doing what I love," or "Jamar, I can't take care of my family doing this and this." Now, one thing I do tell people is never to just quit your job or quit everything you do and do what you love. That's never what I tell people. You know what I'm saying? You gotta live, but always make time for your passion. And if you can make it your career, make it your career. And the thing about doing something you love to do is you're at your most creative sense. And so you can make money doing anything. You just
Yeah,
gotta be
especially
you just got
nowadays.
nowadays you have the internet, you can search how to make money doing this, and I bet you there's
Yeah.
5 things that pop up. But like, you know what I'm saying, you're more creative. I just think not enough people have thought outside the box because their mind has been trained by other people. They don't believe in themselves, and I believe belief is at the core of doing anything. And then and I think they haven't seen anybody. I think a big thing, especially like depending on what you came from, like what kind of city you grew up in, maybe you saw people and the only people who have made it out of your city or whatever it may be only did this or that. You see what I mean? So that's the only possibilities. For me growing
Right.
up, when people ask Jamar, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't know, maybe a teacher. You know why I said that? My mom was a teacher, my grandfather was a teacher, my grandmother was a teacher, my uncle was a teacher, my aunt was a teacher, my dad was in education. Everybody was in education. So what happened? What I saw is what I thought I could become. And so
Right.
not only have they not been trained in their minds, but they haven't even seen the possibilities. So with me and Root of Everything, I try to fix that with we give 10 steps to find your passion the first season. And then the second season, we show 5 individuals doing what they love and interviewing them. That fixes all the problems. You just got to watch the podcast. You know what I'm saying? But I think those are the main reasons people don't find their passion or even think it's out there. Like there's a lot of people who haven't found their passion and they want to have it, but I think there's more people that don't even believe it's out there, so they never find it. I tell people all the time, your passion could be right in front of your face, but if you don't believe it's out there, you're not gonna see it. So it's either they don't think it's out there, or they haven't found it yet because they haven't been guided to how to find it. But there's a lot of reasons, man. I could go on forever.
Oh yeah. Like bro, like that's the thing. Like with the passion thing, it's just like in school they don't even teach you this stuff. Like like even career day, but I mean career day is kind of helpful, but like it's only helpful if you actually are willing to put yourself out there, which most people
That's true.
aren't. And so it's just kind of like I don't know. It's just I feel like they should
And
really be focusing on that.
I'll say one more thing, Don. I think another one which is big is they're not trying things out because of what other people think. So like imagine like there's something new that's out there and you really want to try it, but it's like my friends think it's weird. Like imagine
Yeah,
like a new game on the PlayStation, you're like, "Oh, my friends aren't buying the game." Like that could be your favorite game. That's a small example, but people aren't trying things out because of what other people think. You know what I mean?
Right.
That could be one that's like, man, and even if you do try it out, if you don't fully try something out, you'll never truly know what it is. Like for Root of Everything, if I didn't fully try it, I wouldn't have known how passionate I was about it. You see what I mean? So
Right.
some people are trying it just to say they tried it, but they didn't give it a real try.
Right. Like, bro, like it's crazy, bro. Like a lot of people, like to that point too. Like a lot of people, they'll be like, yo, I don't want to do this because my friends gonna think this, or I don't want to do this right there.
Hey,
Like
I do
it's
it.
like
I
this.
did it today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm playing. I'm playing. But we all do it. We all do it.
Yeah. I feel like it's something we've just been programmed, like going through junior high, high school. We're programmed to like, how do I say it?
Yeah.
Care what
Judge
people think.
ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. And we slowly got to break
Yeah.
away from
And
that
social
thing.
media made it bad too. Social
Yeah.
media made it horrible. It
Horrible.
is what it is.
Like even like stuff like people want to start YouTube channels, podcasts, whatever it is they want to do, right? But then they just care so much, like, oh, what are people gonna say if I do this? What are they gonna do? Like, you
And
know what
that's
I mean?
and that happens with me. I tell people all the time, when you start something, they gonna love you in the beginning because you know what I'm saying, to an extent. Maybe they won't. There's gonna be people like, good job for starting something, but they're
Right.
also like talking to their friends like, he gonna quit in about 2 weeks. He gonna quit in
Yeah.
3 months. And then it hits this point where it's been like maybe 6 to 8 weeks. They're like, yo, he's still posting it. He's still
Yeah.
going. Like with my stuff, I think it hit a point where it was like the views and stuff, and then it was just like plateauing, and then kind of went down a
Right.
little bit because it was like the friends were the people that follow you aren't supporting like that, because it was like, I'm gonna support him, so I can say I support it. You know what I'm saying? If he blow up, I was there first, but no way he keep going. And then it's like, oh, he's keeping going. Oh, his followers are going up. Oh, I tell people all the time, the only person that gotta believe is you. The other people will believe eventually in due time, but you
Oh,
got you gotta believe. And if you need other people to believe in you to do it, you didn't believe in the first place, and you're not gonna make it nowhere, because results are always gonna fluctuate. You see, results are something you can't depend on. I can have the greatest podcast. I can have the greatest podcast, but the people decide if they agree with me, not me. I have to validate myself. I have to believe in myself, regardless of what everybody else thinks, and that's a passion, man. And so, yeah, man, people got to look within themselves and not compare, not let other people dictate what they're doing, man. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing.
hmm With that point too, that actually brings me to the next question. Like, what you
There
think
we go.
about your opinion on like the support system? You know, like friends not supporting. You know, when you start something big, right? You start something new,
Hmm.
and then it's just like you see your friends posting. For example, if they post like Drake or whatever, right? But they're not posting your content, and you
Yeah.
find that it's like, you know, people who don't support you are supporting you more. Like, why do you think that is? Like, what's your thoughts on that, bro?
Yeah, it's funny. I think I saw a meme the other day. It was like, or a tweet, and it was like, y'all support y'all's favorite rappers that don't even know y'all's names more than your own friend or something like that. It's crazy
Yeah,
life we live in. I mean, I be posting a little Dirk and stuff every now and then, but
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But like, I think it's a tough one, man. I'm not mad at nobody if they don't support me. I don't want you to
yeah.
show support just so you say you support me. I don't need that.
Right, right,
But I
right.
mean, it does show some true colors when it's like, yo, you weren't supporting me until I hit 1,500 followers. You weren't supporting
Yeah,
me until one of my reels blew up a little bit. You weren't supporting
right.
me until so and so came on the podcast. That's something I'm gonna be aware of, because as somebody doing something with the potential I think I have, you can't really be listening and allowing people in your ear that aren't truly there for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you gotta validate yourself. That's the biggest thing you can ever do. And so my opinion to anybody who doesn't support their friends, are they really your friends? That's the real question. You know what I mean? And
Right.
let's be real here. How many friends do you need? You know what I mean? How many friends
Yeah.
do you really need? I post It's funny. I posted something on my Instagram story today, and it was like, do something nice for yourself. Love yourself. The only love you ever need is from yourself. And
Right.
so, while somebody I thought was my guy didn't hasn't liked a single post on Root of Everything, hasn't even followed the page yet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I don't need to depend on you for support. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
I
Right.
got me. You know what I mean? But anything extra is beautiful. And so I peep all of that. But I'm not mad at nobody who don't support me. Because if you think it's trash, I don't want you liking it then. I don't want you following
Yeah,
it
like
then.
not
You
some
know what I
fake
mean?
shit. Yeah.
So it just is what it is, man. But I'm gonna validate myself regardless anyway.
Where not gonna lie, that's something I personally like struggled with. Like when I first started, I'd be like, yo, like why my own homies disappoint me? Like, you know what I mean? It low key got to me. Then I was thinking to myself, like, I was thinking to myself, like, bro, like, why am I like using this for why do I need these guys' validation anyway? You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
I don't need it. You know what I mean? Like, because if you need the validation, right, then it's kind of just like imagine something happens. I don't know, say for example, you get canceled, whatever. Like then you're
Mhm.
not gonna want to keep going to build your platform anymore because you're relying on the validation from others and not actually like believing in yourself. Like,
You took the words out of my mouth. Because at
yeah,
the end of the day, again, the results, the support is
yeah,
always gonna fluctuate. At the end of the day, the mainstream media could decide Jamar is canceled just cause. You know what I
just
mean?
cut.
But if I was validating myself off of them, I'm never gonna have long-term success. Long-term
Mm-hmm.
success is when your foundation is correct. When your foundation is I love myself. I love what I'm putting out to the world. And it's the
Right.
world's choice. I'm gonna be at peace with I'm gonna be at peace with myself and at war with the world. That's what Nipsey Hussle said. Would you rather be at peace with
Mm-hmm.
yourself and at war with the world, or at peace with the world and at war with yourself? I'm not gonna be at war with myself. But a lot of people who place their validation on the world, they're waiting for the world to crash them up. Because once the world says no, we don't rock with Jamar no more. Oh, Jamar doesn't love himself no more. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna love myself before the world love me, and I'm gonna love myself after the world hate me. That's just what it is.
Facts. What's it called? To that point too, I noticed because when I was watching your content, you talk a lot about like just being yourself
Hmm.
and like how to be yourself, like how to like what advice would you give someone who's like cares what people think and like they're just
Hmm.
trying to just be their true authentic self? So what would you suggest to that
Yeah, I
person?
would tell them first of all, nobody can be you. So let's say we're trying to figure out what our advantages are in anything. I'm a sports guy, so when you're playing
Right.
sports, you know what I'm saying, like you measuring other people up. What's your advantage? The biggest advantage you will ever have is the fact that nobody can be you. Nobody can hop on this mic and talk like Jamar, have the experiences that Jamar had. It's your biggest advantage. So you want to be successful, first step, be yourself. If you want to be, you know what I'm saying, a Play-Doh ball, then you go ahead and do that. But first of all, being yourself is your biggest advantage. Second of all, you're not going to be able to be happy consistently if you don't decide to be yourself. You will be constantly dependent on your happiness through results, through other people's thoughts, if you don't decide to be yourself. Now, I understand all that stuff sounds hard, but I think one of the biggest things you can ever do to be yourself is to get back in kid mode. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I be thinking like, dang, when I was 4, I didn't care what nobody said. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even I'll be looking back, like I'll be laughing with my mom. I'm actually about to go back home soon, but I'll be laughing with my mom. My mom used to always try to put nice clothes on me. She used to always try to
Yeah.
comb my hair. She used to always try to put grease in my hair. She used to put nice shoes on me. I was like, Mom, I don't care what I look like. I don't care what people think. I used to say stuff like that.
Yeah.
And as I reflect, I'm like, yo, Young Jamar was dope because he really didn't
Yeah.
care. If you knew me and like I ever like showed you all my old pics, I used to wear these big red goggles and I used to wear them to school. Like there, instead of wearing getting regular glasses, I wear goggles because I told my parents, why do I need two pairs of glasses if I'm gonna wear goggles to sports? I can just wear them to school too. I look
Right.
stupid in them. But you know what? I didn't care what nobody thought. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And so sometimes for me, it's like, yo, go back and just put on the red goggles. You know what I mean? Go back and be a
Yeah.
kid. I think a lot of times we say, yo, I wish I could be a kid again. Be a kid right now. You know what I mean? Be a kid right now. Do what you want to do. Treat yourself, love yourself, and understand those people's thoughts and those people's hate on you is probably their own problems inside putting that on you. So don't even worry about it. Just be yourself and let it all fall. Let it all fall through. Because when you decide to be yourself, everything else starts naturally coming. When you decide to be yourself, that's the first step in self-love. And that's really all you need in this world is self-love. And when you love yourself, you're able to receive love even better. And you're able to see the perspective of positivity and you're able to block out negativity even better. So just do it, man. That's all I could say. Be yourself.
That's facts, bro. Just being yourself. Like a lot of people struggle with that. Like
Yeah.
nowadays, like even like especially like high school kids and stuff, right? Like that pressure. You're constantly like just trying to be like. It's like you're trying to be someone like this is what I think. In high
Mhm.
school, I feel like there's like people who like know kind of know who they want to be, right? And there's people who are just faking it, right? Just trying to be cool type shit. And then there are the ones that don't even know what they want to do,
Mhm.
but then they're kind of in that same boat where they're faking it because they're just trying to
Yeah.
like,
Fit
and then
in.
even into your 20s, you still see people doing this kind of high school mentality where they care. Like even myself, I'm still trying to break out of that like
Same.
mentality. Like sometimes I'd be thinking like, I don't care, right? And then someone will be like, damn, I care. But then I'm like, wait, how do I actually care? You know what I mean? It's kind of like you just gotta break out of that. What's it called? That mentality that we've just been trained into. Yeah. Like what you?
Man,
I remember I was watching a video from you. You said it was the sponge, right? You gotta squeeze the sponge.
yeah, bro, you gotta squeeze the sponge, dog. I tell people all the time, like,
Yeah,
so my example with the sponge was when we were young, we just obtain all this knowledge, but we never say, because back then we never say yes or no to the knowledge. When you
but
get old enough, man, you gonna have to squeeze the sponge. You know what I'm saying? You have to say, man, I do not agree with that. Actually, I tell people all the
mhm.
time, the first time you squeeze a sponge is when you decided Santa Claus wasn't real. That doesn't sound so stupid to do. Somebody
Yeah,
told you that, you believed them, and then you squeeze your sponge and said, nah, my
right.
boy Santa Claus is not real. He's not coming up here in every house. So
Hmm.
squeeze your sponge on certain things. Understand, I don't have to fit in with everybody else. I don't have to do what everybody else is doing, because at the end of the day, fitting in is becoming average. Do you want to become average? And in
No, bro.
reality, your potential isn't average. Your potential skyrockets. It just matter of you embracing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's facts. But like, yeah, I just feel like fitting in is literally just like, what do you call it? You're doing a disservice to
Big
yourself. Like,
disservice.
yeah, like fitting. It actually sounds so stupid and
It
corny.
sounds very
Everybody,
stupid.
yeah, like it's just like, bro, like you wanna like, what do you call it? Be like everybody else.
Yeah,
And they're people who are like everybody else. That's not even really who they are. They're just doing it because there's this societal construct to be like this sheep. It's just like,
that's
it's like,
crazy.
bruh, it's
And
crazy.
I'm victim to it in middle school and high school and right now. Like, and one thing I like to be clear with is all the things I talk about, I'm going through that joint right now. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I've had moments where I'm like trying to do stuff and I'm like, dang, what my friends gonna say about that? Dang, I probably
Yeah,
look stupid. Dang, what they doing? Let me do that. And then sometimes I be sitting in my bed, I was like, Jamar, you didn't even want to go to that. You like you didn't
yeah,
even, you know what I mean? And my biggest thing is reflect. Like one thing that's missing in a lot of places is people aren't taking a second to sit and listen to themselves. So they end up fitting in without even knowing it because they're moving without thinking. You know what I mean?
yeah.
If you're not taking a moment every day to say, actually hold on, how was my day? Some people don't
Mm,
even know they having bad days. You know what I mean? Or some people are saying I had a bad day off of one little pinch in their day, one little bad moment. But in reality, they sat back like, nah, today was a pretty good day. You know what I mean? If you're not reflecting, you'll never know you being stupid and you fitting in with everything, or you're doing things you don't like, or you're doing something you don't like. And that's another step to find your passion is reflecting. If you don't reflect, if you don't become self-aware, you'll never know what you're actually doing. And it's hard to really make adjustments if you don't even know what to fix. You know what I mean?
you don't even know
So
what
you,
to
you got to
fix.
reflect.
Or definitely like reflecting. It's definitely gonna help you like just be aware of like where you're messing up and all that type of stuff.
Big
Let's
facts.
see. What's my next question for you? Let's see.
We here for it. Let's go.
So yeah, how do you build the confidence to find your passion? Like,
Hmm.
what's your thoughts on that? Like, I guess
Oof.
confidence in general, and like
Yeah,
how to
man.
find a
So
passion.
I naturally like for me, I remember being a freshman in college,
Right,
and
right.
there's a lot of moments where I'm like, yo, Jamar, you really just did that? And I'm so thankful for this. But there's this like, what's the example? Like, let's say you're at the you're at the top of like a water park. You got a water park, you got a big old slide or whatever it is,
Okay.
and like you're there and you're maybe scared, and somebody just pushes you down. You know what I mean? Somebody just pushes you down the slide. I have an internal like pusher of me down the slide where it just makes me get into uncomfortable situations. And you can never be ready for something that you haven't done before. It's impossible because you don't know what to expect. You can have other people tell you whatever it may be, but you can never be ready for anything until you just do it. And I knew that for a very long time. I don't know why I knew it. I internally knew it. So there was lots of moments in my life where it would have been maybe stupid to do something, but I was like, I just need to go do it because my heart's telling me to do it. So like, I think there was one moment I went up and talked on stage as a volunteer at this big old conference. Just did it. Got a
Right.
standing ovation. You know what I mean? And so, but something just told me to go up there. You know what I mean? And so I gained confidence from being stupid enough to try. And I tell people, you got to be stupid. You got to be stupid. You got to be stupid enough to start a podcast. You got to be
Yeah.
stupid enough to say, you know what? I'm going to do it and it's
I'm
going to blow up. And you know what? While I did something stupid, I was trying to talk on camera and I was trash. And it still sounded stupid. It still sounded like there's no way. But you know
right.
what? I'm going to be stupid enough to believe in it. And you know what? Through being stupid a bunch of times, you're gonna get confident because you actually keep practicing it. And then people are gonna be like, yo, Jamar, root of everything, bro. That you might be doing something there. When at first they're like, what is this is stupid. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if anybody wants to get confident enough to find their passion, be stupid enough to believe it's out there. You know what I mean? You can't possibly achieve anything. You can't possibly get anything before believing in it. And the thing about belief and passion is it makes things that really aren't possible. You know what I mean? Everything we have on this earth, this recording that we have, we're able to speak to each other and be thousands of miles away from each other. Somebody was stupid enough to believe, you know what? We could create phones one day. You know what? We could create an internet. Somebody was an idiot. Somebody said we could do that. Back then they were like, man, there's no way I could talk to somebody in another country. There's no way.
There's
But
no way
somebody was stupid enough to do it anyway.
to
So
do
whatever
it.
you have out there that you want, be stupid enough to do it, and people will realize how much of a genius you are later.
That's facts. That's facts. Yeah, man. Like just putting yourself out there, willing to
Exactly.
do things that people will like. Now we're not saying do anything like super crazy, you know what I'm saying? But like you
Okay, don't
like
be
for
too
those.
stupid. Don't be too
Yeah,
stupid. Don't be too stupid. And y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. Don't go. I'm not gonna give y'all no ideas, but don't be too
yeah,
stupid.
yeah, yeah. Because people they gonna try it. The people are
Yeah,
actually gonna
no.
try it.
I trust them. No, I'm playing.
Don't kill me. What do you call? What would you say is like your passion? Like I think you kind of like
Hmm.
explained it, but like I don't know. Like let's go more into that. What's your
Yeah.
like passion like?
Well, first off, one thing I'll say is I'll never be able to fully articulate that. And what I tell people all the time is you're the only one who has to understand what your passion is. It doesn't matter if anybody else knows. You know what I mean? It just matters if you do. And so, could I put it into words? Yes. Will it encompass 100% of it? No. Like, there's parts of what I do that's I'm so passionate about that I can't even tell you what it is. It's just more like a feeling and a knowing, if that makes sense. But in a
Okay.
general space, I believe my passion is talking to passionate people. Like there's something electric about talking to passionate people, and I love inspiring people. But more than anything, it's talking to passionate people. It's being competitive. I love being a competitive, and you see that in the podcast because in the podcast, I when we bring in people, not only do I interview them, but 10 minutes, but the first 10 minutes of the podcast is me going to wherever they are and trying out their passion with them. So with I know the person that was on your podcast recently, Nas, I
Nah,
literally I literally made TikToks with them and tried my best to do it with them. And
right.
it's hilarious. But I'm competitive, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it just as good as you, knowing I'm not, because this is his thing. So it's like I get to be competitive. I get to talk to passionate people. That's everything for me. It gets me in my mode. Like right now, I'm in my mode because I'm just talking to passionate people.
Right, right. Yeah, that's crazy. That's
Yeah,
awesome, bro. Like, you follow your passion and you're just doing what you love to do,
it's amazing. And I tell people, man, the moment I started was the moment I was successful. Like whatever comes next, that's for the world. You know what I mean? Like I don't need any of the glory. I mean, it'd be cool, but like I don't really need it. I'm just thankful that life said okay, you can have it now. You can have your passion. And because of that, I'm gonna show how thankful I am by doing it every single day, by living in it, by always being consistent, by never quitting with root of everything. Because I genuinely love it. And I'm not gonna, you know, not be thankful for it. I think a lot of people aren't thankful enough for their life and their passions or having a chance to have it. Like being here on earth and I didn't have my passion and knowing what I know now, I would by being so thankful, I would be trying to find my passion every single day. And then when I do find it, I'm gonna be even more thankful and I'm gonna do it every single day. Because a lot of people don't have that chance. A lot of people don't have the chance to even wake up. Think about the amount of lives that didn't even happen, or the amount of lives that only got a couple years, a couple days, a day. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take advantage of it, and I look myself every day in the mirror and tell myself I have another chance at life, and I'm gonna take advantage of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And what I mean by that is I'm gonna do what I love to do. I'm gonna inspire people to find their passion so they can have the same feeling I'm having. So it's a beautiful thing, bro, and you got to be thankful for it.
right, man. That's great, man. Like, just finding your passion and just being grateful for it. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
what would you call it? So what would you say? Like, how would you avoid because I know when you're chasing your passion, you're doing what you would like to do, you're grinding, right? How do you avoid burnout? Like, what are things that you do to avoid like burning
Burnout.
out? Yeah,
Yeah. So first of all, I tell people all the time, don't do something for the results in the short term. Never think short term. It's always long term. It's always long term. Because the thing about passion is I ain't stopping. You know what I mean? This is my passion. So it's not
facts.
I don't need I don't need a million subscribers tomorrow. I don't need a million subscribers in the next 10 years. You could tell me it's not gonna pop off for 30 years. I'm gonna be here for 30 years. I'm gonna be here for 60 years. So the
Damn.
key is find a pace that you can keep on forever. Don't find a pace you can do one quick lap in. I have an old video on our page where I'm like, the 99% will try to run one lap as fast as they can. The 1% will try to find a pace they can run forever. So whenever I go out and run, I go out and run on the track every now and then, especially when back home. I live right by a track. When
Right,
I run, I try my best to find a pace and not think about the time, but see how far I can go. Not try to do
right,
a pace that gets the best time in 1 mile or 2 miles, whatever. I try to find a pace so I can train my mind that whatever I'm doing in life is for the long haul. And somebody may go faster than me for the first lap, the first mile, the first 5 miles, but how long can I go and be further than anybody else? Because the thing is, you're going to see a lot of people start a podcast when you start a podcast. You're going to see a lot
right.
of people start this when you start this. And they may have more this than you have in the first year, more this than you have in the first 5 years. But guess what? I ain't never quitting though. And they going to burn out because maybe they were doing it for the results. But when you're doing it because you love what you're doing and you find a pace that doesn't cause you to feel like you're overdoing it, then you're going to be able to last forever. So my biggest thing is find a pace that you can rock with, that you know you could do forever. And if any moment you feel like you're about to burn out, stop. And what I mean by that is not stop completely. I mean, give yourself a break, but understand you're not quitting. You're going to get back on it, but you got to stop so you can get back onto a pace that's going to last forever. So have I
Right.
taken a break with root of everything? Heck yeah. I'm not one of these ultra motivated, get up at 6 a.m. every single day.
Yeah.
No, today I woke up at 11 o'clock. Okay. I got my extra sleep in. But I'm just saying, take care of yourself, find a pace. If you can get up at 6, do it. I try to do that sometimes. But I think it's find a pace that can maximize your productivity without feeling like I can't last forever. So always think long term, never short term. That's the key to never getting burnout.
Damn, that's crazy, man. Especially with that, what do you call it? Just like taking a break, like and like it's powerful, bro. Like even in this culture, like with you see your Gary V's,
Yeah.
your all these different guys, right? Like they always say grind, grind, grind. But like, man, like
Take a
don't get me wrong,
nap.
the grind is cool, but like you
Yeah.
can't be doing that all the time. Like, you
A
know,
lot of people are see there's a difference between motivation and discipline. I'm not trying to motivate nobody. I mean, yeah, I hope I can motivate somebody, but I'd rather inspire somebody to find what they love and then they can be disciplined through their passion. So The difference between motivation and discipline is motivation runs out. Like somebody could be listening to this live, listening to this podcast, and they're like, "Man, I'm motivated." And then
Yeah.
tomorrow they forgot about this. You know what I mean? Or maybe tomorrow they're still motivated, but in a week are they still motivated from this? You see what I mean? I'd rather inspire somebody to find their passion so they can be disciplined. And when you're disciplined is when you're no longer dependent on your feelings for what you're doing. So I think a
Right.
lot of times people are doing stuff through their feelings and not what they're disciplined to do. So I'm disciplined to do certain things every single day. When
Right.
people are doing things off of their feelings, some days they're motivated, some days they don't feel good. And then it's like, man, I don't even want to keep going because they had one little bad feeling, one bad comment under the post. That's what happens when you're relying on motivation. It's going to be up and down. Don't be motivated off of me. Be inspired and go find it. Go out and get it and discipline yourself. But motivation, man, it's always
Gonna
gonna
get you
be
so
whoop
far.
and then whoop right there,
Yeah.
man. Right there.
That is so facts. Like the last 4 months, that's literally like just been my journey. Like, I've just been like with school and then making YouTube videos and stuff. I was just like motivation was just, and I'd find myself
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, at times I go through like little seasons where I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do this now. I don't want to do anything, right? But then
Mm-hmm.
I started realizing like, yo, like I think it's really about the discipline. Like just discipline
Mm-hmm.
yourself to do the work when you don't feel like it. And I think it's just a balance of understanding of like, okay, when do you need to take a break? Okay, when is it like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I need to be disciplined, like get on my stuff. Like,
Exactly. And it's
yeah,
it's all through self-awareness. Like
yeah,
obviously, you know what I mean? Like I may be disciplined, but I'm never gonna hurt myself in the pursuit of any goal. Like
yeah,
I'm gonna put myself before my passion. But the thing is, your passion is kind of who you are. But I'm gonna put myself before having to do something. If I get sick, I'm not still gonna do certain things. You know what I mean? If I'm sick, and I said I'm disciplined to work out 5 times a week. If I'm in the hospital, I'm not gonna get up and work out because I'm disciplined. Like it's a balance, you know what I mean? And I think sometimes in a lot of these videos on Instagram, whatever it may be, people take one little clip and then they attach it to
right.
their lives and don't take a balance of everything that's said. So it's just a balance.
It's a balance, definitely. Hold on, real quick.
All good.
I hope my shit doesn't die, so I'm just looking for the charge.
Charger.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Hold on. Oh shoot, yo, a little malfunctioning. Where did I put this thing? Hold on. Little timeout. Little timeout.
Timeout. Timeout on the play. Timeout on the play.
Yeah. Hold on. Now I swear I had this thing. It's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. This is a new.
Definitely. Shoot, it's part of the process, man. You gotta take the L's so you can take 2 L's make a W. So
Yeah.
you gotta take this L so you know next time. You know what I mean?
Facts for real, bro. Okay, now I'm confused. I literally. Okay, let's just hope this don't die on us.
All
All
right,
right,
you got enough charge on you?
let's go. Okay, maybe if I damn. Hold on.
Why did I have the slight urge to say you can have my charger? That's crazy.
Yeah. That's crazy. Hold on. Okay, yo. Okay, so yo, where did I put this thing, yo?
Y'all can't hear me? I think
I
they
can
can.
hear
No, they
you.
can hear me. Yeah, you can hear me. We're just waiting on him to get his charger so we can get back going. It's all good though. Oh, I hate when that happens. Whenever somebody calls me on my Instagram lives, whenever somebody Can y'all hear now?
Hold on. Give me one sec. You have the charger? Can I use it? Hey, I'm back. I'm back. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
All right, bet. I was actually
That's
having
my
technical
bad,
difficulties too, but it's all good.
That's my bad. I don't know where this thing went, but I asked my sister, like, yo, I don't know where my charger went.
Let's
I
see.
literally was holding it. Damn. All right.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's get it. Damn. Yeah, this is a learning experience. Now I know I'm gonna keep track
Yeah,
of
it's
all
all
this.
good. It's all good, man. Stuff always happen, man. It's technology.
Yeah.
Technology. But let's
That's
get it.
not good. All right. I just have a couple more questions. And then so let's see. So how do you develop how would you tell people to develop the right mindset to find their passion? Like how would you
Develop.
how would is there like certain things that you, like when you were finding your passion, like did you
Mhm.
have to like change the way you think about things? Like what would you
Yeah,
suggest?
man. You have to. So your mindset is everything in finding your passion. Your mindset is everything in life. So if your mind ain't right for something, it's gonna be hard to even see it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say you gotta believe before you can get anything because you're not even gonna see it right in front of you. So your mindset, and it's a whole episode on this. It's funny because it's like I feel my heart hurting for a second because it's like I had to take part of it out to make the episode. One of the hardest things I ever did. But you have to
Yeah,
first, I talk about squeezing the sponge and stuff like that. But you have to
right,
first look at your past, then you have to look at your present, you have to look at your future. And so, like I said, you got to look at your past and squeeze out your sponge of what you don't agree with anymore because your passion is inside of you. It's who you are. So it's not something you really have to find in the world. It's more of you finding who you are. So you're almost finding your passion as you find out who you are as a person, as you become whoever you are. So I tell people your passion is almost like, you know what I mean? It's just the journey of being yourself. You know what I mean? I am being myself right now because I'm living in my passion. And so think of it as finding yourself. And so that's realizing and taking away the things that you no longer agree with that you were told to when you weren't able to say no to certain ideals. It's realizing and saying yes or no to things you don't want to be involved in the present moment. You know what I mean? So when you ask me, do I want to be interviewed? I would love to do that because I love getting interviewed. But if I didn't like being interviewed, I would have told you no. Enough people don't say no enough to people, and they end up not being whoever they are because they're controlled by other people telling them or asking them things. So they don't say no. If I didn't like being interviewed, I would have told you no straight up. You know what I mean? And in the future, you have to start thinking different about your future. I think you have to start not really thinking you can control it. Like you can't control your future. You know what I mean? You have to start coming to peace with that, but understanding I'm gonna find what I love to do right now, and then let the rest come to be. And so I think you have to come to peace and understand and reflect on who you are as a person up until now, and kind of rebuilding it, and kind of also understanding what you've been told and what ideals aren't true. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to fall in line to be successful. You know what I mean? And you also, here's the biggest one. I'm gonna just cut it here because I could go forever on this one. But here's the biggest one. It's defining success for yourself. People, I tell people all the time, if you were to go to if I was to make a dictionary, I would make a dictionary with all the words and have all the definitions. But when you get to the word successful, it'd be blank and you could write in it. Because I believe everybody has a different definition of success. You cannot tell me I'm successful. You cannot tell me because you don't know how I measure success. I could say, man, Dom, you're a successful dude. I don't really know that, because if your definition of success is buying a Rolex, I don't know if you got a Rolex. Or if your definition of success is being happy, I cannot tell you you're happy. I cannot judge or know if you're happy. And so I also tell people, when it comes to figuring out your definition of success, is like, we be comparing ourselves to people, and they may have this, this, and that, but they don't even feel they're successful. The people we're idolizing don't even feel they're successful. I could look up to, say I'm a basketball player, I could look up to LeBron James, right? I could
Right.
look up to LeBron James and be like, I want to be LeBron. What if LeBron defines success on being happy? Is LeBron happy? What if LeBron James is not happy right now? What if LeBron James, outside of what I see on social media and on TV, isn't having a good life? Maybe I shouldn't be idolizing that person. Not to say LeBron's a bad person. I love LeBron. But you have to define success for yourself, or else you're always going to be caught up in the judgment of others. And define your passion, man, you're going to have to define success for yourself, because you're constantly going to be letting other people's opinions, other people's definition of success get into what you're doing when you're trying to figure out who you are. And
Mhm.
the biggest thing, and it's called, it was born. I was born to have something called root of everything. And at your root of everything, your root of everything, it's your most purest thing. It has nothing to do with what's going on in the outside world. It has nothing to do with what other people think. It's at your root of everything. That is only you. You know what I'm saying? You don't need no opinions from the world. You don't need nobody else. So to really find your passion, you have to understand that you have to find who you are as a person at the root of everything, without anybody else's opinion. So you just got to kind of erase everything out and just focus on you.
Facts, especially like just with the social media culture, you're constantly comparing yourself to all these models and people around you in your
Hmm.
community and and it's just like it can be really damaging because it's just like because yeah, like you said, success is it's different for everybody, right? And so if you're constantly
Hmm.
comparing, then it's just like you're just gonna be in this rabbit hole. That's why honestly I try to like I put a timer on how much I'm on IG. Actually, that like it got
Good for
so
you.
bad, like I put a timer, bro. Like
Good for you.
it's actually toxic, bro. Like Instagram,
Very
like
toxic.
constantly comparing. Like it's just nah, bro. Like I found like I just feel like way better when I'm not on Instagram like that. It's just because like every day it's something new. You always see some with like celebrities and stuff like that, and it's just
Hmm.
kind of like, man, what kind of substances is really like bringing me? Like, I'm seeing this, I'm just like, oh, COVID-19 again. This, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just negative. I
It
don't
is
know.
it's very negative, and it's a sad reality. And you can like try to follow the right accounts and try to do this and that, but in reality, the negativity on social media is going to be there all the time. And you guys set your limits, or you just got to know how to like see it and not take anything of it. And it's a weird balance. It's hard for me because I literally live on IG. You know what I mean? Like, I live there, root of everything's on IG. I'm interacting on IG, so it's just like I kind of have to live with it. But it's better
Yeah,
when you like, when you only follow positivity. It makes it a little bit better. But it's still, the negativity still gonna come. You ain't gotta worry about that. It's always gonna be there.
it's always gonna be there. Damn.
Yep.
So what is your like what do you call it? What is your goals with the root of everything? Like where do you hope to be one day? Like just in general, like what's your kind of like what's your kind of goal?
Good question. First, my goal is to figure out a way to do it full time. You know what I mean? Figure out a
Okay.
way to do. That's my first goal. My first goal is to figure out how can I do this as much as possible. You know what I mean? That's what I want more than anything in the world. Forget, you know what I mean, anything else. How can I do this? Because I can feel, I don't want to say I don't want to say purpose, but I can feel like, yo, this is what I need to be doing, because like I can feel the impact I have with people, and the people come back to me. It's like, yo, Jamar, if you didn't drop that podcast, I would have never switched my major to something I loved, or I would have never decided to do something, and now I'm doing this. Or, Jamar, you have no idea the impact. And it's like, man, I'm slapping the world in the face if I don't go out and do what I love. You know what I mean? So that's the first goal. And then it's, man, I truly do believe it could change the world, and it probably already has to an extent. But I truly believe my messaging and the root of everything is something everybody needs to hear. 0 to 100. Am I gonna say that's my target market is 0 to 100, that'd be bad marketing. But in general, I do believe, um, man, everybody needs to hear this message. And so I think it's part of like part of my passion to try to spread as much as possible and not pushing on nobody. You know, I ain't gonna tell nobody to listen to my podcast, but like I think I can make this thing global. I really do believe the root of everything could be a movement. I tell people all the time, like, what is root of everything, a podcast? Is a brand? I say it's a brand, it's a podcast, but more than anything, it's a movement. So like, man, I truly do believe, I call people that follow my account rooted individuals, because you're rooted in what you love to do, and it's rooted of everything, rooted individuals. I truly do believe, there could be a world out there where everybody's a rooted individual, and not to say that they're Jamar's people. No, they're passionate people, and so I believe I could change so many people's lives, and not really so I could say I changed people's lives, but people could start doing what they love to do. People could be happy, and I don't want to put a number on that. I think obviously I think I could have millions of subscribers in 2 years from now. I believe I'm that dope, but I'm not pressed. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, remember, I'm like
Yeah.
30 years. Okay, 30 years. But I do
Yeah.
believe, like, if we want to like get into numbers, I believe I graduate from college, and this would be a good one, because when I blow up, they're gonna come back to Don's show and be like, "Dang, Jamar said it on Don's show, and he
Yeah.
was even, you know what I'm saying?" So future me, what's up? But I do believe I'm graduating college in a semester, and we already have 2,000 followers on Instagram, and that's only been a
Right.
year, and that's with me not knowing everything. And we did 2 seasons of a podcast with no experience. I believe by the time I graduate, and then you knock on 2 more years, I think it'll blow up. I think you give me a year figuring out being an adult, and then and me going hard on the podcast, and then another year where I really go ham. I think it'll blow up, and I think we'll be a household name. That's the best I can say, and we can stay independent. We're gonna stay independent, but that's where I see root of everything going. I kind of went long on that, but had to talk to future me
No,
for a second.
no, no. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I rate the confidence, bro. That's
Yeah.
the mentality you gotta have. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, yeah, definitely. Like, it's only up from here. Like, damn,
Hmm.
that's crazy. I definitely think, like, even just watching your content, bro. Like, I was even like, damn, like, I like before I started content, I wasn't really like thinking about passion. I was always one of those. I was one of the purpose guys. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
now I'm thinking like, yo, maybe I gotta focus in more on that on the passion part of things. So
For
then
sure.
it kind of builds that. Like it really low key, you low key make me think, yo, low key is low key the root of everything. Not even low key, it is the root of everything. Passion, bro.
So I'm
Like
trying to tell you, man.
like passion didn't even cross my like head until like I discovered your content. If I'm being
And
real, like
Don, the thing is, I was the biggest purpose dude too. How can
hey,
I
word.
impact? How can I impact? How can I help? But yo, when you say, I took the last, you gotta watch it, bro. The last episode of the first season, you know what the title is?
Uh,
Be selfish so you can be unselfish. The moment you decide to be selfish enough to do what you love is the moment you actually are helping the most people out. And so I'm gonna be the most selfish dude out there by saying, you know what, I'm gonna do what I love to do. But through that, I'm gonna help the most people. And so on the front end, you might look like a douchebag, but on the back end,
yeah,
you're gonna change the world.
don't change it. Yeah, in the beginning, they're all gonna look at you like, yo, who the
They
heck
gonna
is
be like,
this?
oh,
It's the same.
yeah, exactly.
But then eventually they're gonna be like
You
once like
inspired me. You inspired
yeah,
me.
it's
And now
crazy
they're
how it
doing it.
works.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's what it is.
is what it is. Man, that's crazy. So, like in closing, really, like,
Okay.
what would you tell? So, say to someone out here probably gonna watch this. They don't have passion. They don't really know what they want to do with their lives. Like, they're just kind of going through the motions. Probably just even finished high school. You know the feels. Just finished
Hmm.
high school. You don't
I
really know what you
definitely
want
know
to do,
that.
right? Like, what would you say to that person right now?
I got you. I know exactly what I would say to that person. What's the worst that could happen? And I can tell you what's the worst that could happen. Regret. Regret is the worst thing that could happen to anybody. And what do I mean by that? Imagine 60 years from now, 70 years from now, your grandkids are asking you, or your kids are asking you, whoever it may be, yo, did you have a dream? Did you chase it? Did you have a passion? Did you do what you loved? How was your life? No, I just played it safe. I and you start thinking, man, what if I would have done that? You know what I mean? Or like what am I putting on these kids by telling them not to chase their dreams, or what am I putting on them to not follow their passions? And the only thing you would have at that moment would be to tell them, don't be like me. Or you could be the person where it's even better than me, but follow your dreams because it was worth it. And the thing about that moment is, you always gonna want your kids to be greater than you. But it's like, even if you tried it out, let's just say you went for 20 years and didn't find your path, or let's say you went for your dreams and it didn't happen.
Okay.
At least I know. At least I know, dog. At least I know it wasn't meant to be. But when you never tried, there's this mental thing that's just gonna eat you alive every single day forever. You know what I'm saying? If you never shoot the shot, you'll never know if it was gonna go in. And so I tell anybody that's going through the motions, like, try it now, because one day you're not even gonna be able to. I think you can always go for your passion, but if you have a specific opportunity, or if you feeling like, I don't know, try it, because when it's time for you to go, you're gonna wish you had that time back to do what you loved. And I'm thankful every single day I wake up to be able to tap in and do things I love. I'm thankful for this moment, and I understand I'm not gonna regret this time. You don't have anything in this world. I tell people, you don't have a single thing. Everything is borrowed, but you own every single moment. I own this moment right now. The only thing you own is the present, man. And so own each moment, and don't waste what you own. You know what I mean? The one thing that you really have is the moment. Spend it wisely. You know what I mean? Spend it doing what you love. Don't spend it doing something you don't like. Don't spend it not loving yourself. Don't spend it not loving other people. Because one day you're going to realize you spent all of it for nothing. You spent all of it for something that's not even valuable. You spent all of it, and now all you can tell your grandkids is, don't be like me. So that's my reason to follow your passion right now.
Damn. That's crazy. That's impactful stuff, man. That's
Appreciate
lit.
it.
Yeah, man.
That's the
Uh,
root of Jamar, man. That's root of
root of
Jamar, root of
Jamar,
everything.
root of everything. Yeah,
For
you guys
sure.
heard it here first. You know what I'm saying? When he blows up, you know what I mean. They'll come back here. You know, they'll
They'll
say
come
like,
back
"Oh,
here.
okay, like, he was on the Don show." You know what I'm saying? But
For sure, bro. I
yeah, like,
appreciate you bringing me out here, man. I'm happy I got to spend time here.
yeah, I appreciate you coming on, bro. But yeah, y'all go check out his channel, bro. There's some good content there. You can really learn from it. I definitely
For
learned
sure.
from it. Like, definitely on passion, and just being true, authentic to yourself, and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Root of
But
everything for the brand page. And if y'all want to get me personally, it's root of Jamar. See y'all there.
yeah,
Hit
yeah,
me up.
man. It's all gonna be linked down below as well.
For sure. All right,
For
bro.
sure. All right, man.
Appreciate you. Peace.
One time.